Russell with Epic Work Studio LLC. It's an LLC. Hope you guys are having a good one out there. I'm going to share this out, so bear with me while I do that. You can take a look at the art that's up until I start working on the art that is new, and we'll get going here. Hang on a second. Let me post this out to my social network here. Hope you guys are having a good one. This is going to take a second, so bear with me. Okay, so I need, where's my, here we go. Got my coffee, got my water, I am ready to go, son. Okay, where's my thing? All right. Ah, here it is. Awesome. Okay, so let me post this up here. All right. Hope you're having a good one out there, everybody. I'm really excited about this stream. I'm really excited about all the streams, honestly, because they're at least up to this point, because they're all things that I've enjoyed drawing immensely. Okay, let's see. Things that have been near and dear to me. Let's see. So hang on, I've still got a couple more places to post. Sure. Why not? Post. All right, and then the Twitter. The Twitter. As you can see, there's some art up already. That's just what I'm going to be referencing today. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay, tweet. It'd be funny if I made a little tweet sound whenever you did that. Okay, so what I'm doing today is drawing an elf, and I'm specifically drawing an elf from the Borderlands setting that I'm starting right now. The way that works is, I've been doing. I mean, it's a setting. It's a separate world apart from the Wizards of the Coast stuff and all that stuff. So it's a little different. And the elves that I usually incorporate are not like traditional D&D elves. They're the D&D I like is and what the Borderlands is all about. If you're curious about that, is it's a very classic it's D&D type of situation or RPG type thing, referencing old school, probably closer to like Beckme, basic, expert, um, companion, and master and immortals. That whole section. Although I only ever used really the Beck books, or basic, expert, and companion for the red box D&D. I don't like playing the immortal stuff. It's like so high level. They're like fighting gods and stuff. I like to keep it kind of low, and I generally keep levels at like 10 because I feel like that's when people would be retiring and everything like that. So I don't go high. Like I tend to like low magic, whimsical, high whimsy when it comes to magic, and actually kind of magic, but like magic's not like a mainstream thing. It's not like a major part of the societies and all that stuff. It's kind of like, it's still kind of feared and people don't really trust it. It is because it's dangerous. I mean, it's a power, and most people are concerned with survival, farming, finding eking out their living off the land and everything. There are some like gatherings of wizards and things like that, but they're not like super. They're known about, but not like super crazy or anything like that. So elves like that. They're not really very typical player character types of situations. The elves in the world that the Borderlands takes place in are little. They're like halfling size or smaller even in some cases, but they're little, and they're more like halflings than they are typical elven characters that would appear in like a Tolkien thing. And as you can see, I've drawn a couple of them a few times. They tend not to be adventure characters because they don't like to leave the forests, and they're not part of like human society at all, really. And there's no real mingling of the races in that regard because they're magical creatures that like the forest. They don't like the cities and all that stuff. Same with the dwarf-like characters. They're not interspersed in like the human cities, not all the time anyway. Like there's not huge gatherings of them or anything. They mostly stick out in the woods. It's very folktale, fairy tale type of stuff. So it's not modern fantasy in that regard. So the elves of the Borderlands are very small. They're very mischievous. I usually when people play them, I usually start out. They start out with. They always get one spell, and they tend to be thieves. Because they're very mischievous and they prank and they don't have the patience or the willpower or the uh, really, I guess the patience is the big thing to be wizards, to study wizardry and all that stuff. Their magic is innate. It's not like insanely powerful, and they start off with like what would be considered like a second edition Dungeons and Dragons type of cantrip, which is mostly non-harmful but annoying magic. So, they screw with people essentially. It's a fairy tale type of thing or folk tale type of thing too. So they're very much like that. But when they do show up in as player characters, they tend to be thievy type of guys. There are warriors. They wear their armor tends to be very Celtic or very ancient looking because they're old, right? Like everything else that is magical, it's old and it tends they still wear that type of thing. Plus, they don't like to wear the heavy armor and metal and everything that humans do. So their stuff tends to be pretty simple. And this is one of my favorite characters. He's kind of a recurring one that's going to appear again and again in the Borderlands artwork as one of the characters, like one of the iconic characters, and her too, sort of. She's more like an NPC that's going to show up later in the book, but he's like a player character guy. So or one of the iconic characters, and this is just a guy that I did to represent what they typically look like. They're very small, pan-like. They're very lightly pointed ears, not crazy, and it's really not long, and it's all very kind of understated. But those are the elves of Borderlands, and that's what I'm going to be illustrating today. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because you know uh, all of these have been just kind of like putzing around, things like that. They like shiny things. They like, I mean, pretty typical elf stuff that way, though. They like magic. They like, fun. They like music and dancing and things like that. So they're kind of chaotic in that regard. And yeah, so, there's all that. All right, so let's get in. I have just created the document for elf. So we have that to fall back on here and start sketching around in. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Actually, let's get rid of this one because it's the one with stuff on it. Okay, so as per usual, I'm starting out with a. Oops, I forgot to plug in my pen, and my cat is down there hanging out. Dude, I gotta find some music to listen to. Seriously, something's free that I can play while without know violating some kind of Twitch standard, or somebody's copyright for that matter. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and dive on in. I'm gonna grab my pencil brush, and again, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I do want to do something fun that I haven't done yet. So I have like a fighter kind of elf. I have a typical, um, uh, what kind of character, kind of illustration might show up as like a spot somewhere in the book that just represents the race as a as a whole. And then I have this kind of NPC character, this kind of thiefy person. So that. Uh, so I'm thinking of, I kind of want to. I actually my idea was to draw this guy again. I like him a lot. I like her a lot too. She's fun. She's funny. But yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking about drawing this guy. Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. Let's see. And they often start out. They are elf people, so they know how to talk to the animals, and they know how to, They usually start out with some sort of an animal companion. Like if you want, you can have that. You can do that. They're you know they're closer to something you might find in like it's like a weird cross. It's like a cross between. It's actually something you might find like an old D&D thing. Honestly, I mean it's the kind of thing because that's what the Borderlands is. It references the things that I really enjoy about D&D, which is the whimsical fun stuff from yesteryear, but with a kind of a modern flair. So it's not really like totally old school, but it is pretty old school. All right. So let's see. So what am I gonna do? Let's just you know what? I'm just gonna start goofing around. Oh, and I gotta drop this bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start goofing around. See what happens. See what we get. Oh man. Can you? I wonder if you can see her. Hang on a second. It's actually pretty light outside, but that part of the light comes in from this side, not that side. This side's pretty dark. The cat just went tearing through the house. Where's she? Oh, there she is. She went. You could hear. You could probably hear her nails as she was like banging as she was tearing the carpet. She wants to play. That's the deal. Whenever I do anything like this, she wants to play. All right. So what are we doing here? What is going on? Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it. I just got it. Okay. Um, all right. So yeah, see, sometimes what's funny too is this type of drawing, this kind of like automatic, sketchy, weird. Like sometimes I don't get anything from it at all. Like I don't get anything. What it does is it just making marks on a page. I do this too. If I want to loosen up, if I can't think of something, I try. I don't really. One of the strategies that I use is to not think of things. I let things come to me. I am inspired by things often, so often enough that if I keep notes, I don't need to like think of something on the spot, right? I can look in my notes and go, "Oh, yeah, I want to do that." Or what I can do is do this. I have three strategies. I have note taking ideas that I already want to do. I have the this, which I just kind of call unwinding. Like it's like unknotting the brain really. And what I do there is I just open up a sketchbook when I used a sketchbook all the time. I would just open up a page and I would just literally do this. I mean I didn't even give a shit what it looked like. I would just scribble, I would just let it go. I didn't care what I was doing. I would do this. Sometimes I draw things on purpose, and what happens with that a lot of times is I get ideas from that, but if I know it's not something I'm supposed to be working on, like say I'm working on a commission for somebody, I'll make a note of whatever it is I thought in here, but then it'll also kind of help me unlock my brain so that then I can go and, do the next thing, which is what this ends up leading into. I keep a note though, so that remember what I said, I keep notes about things I want to do because I'll see things in there that I want to do, and I'll make a note of that, or I'll save the sketch or something, and then go off and do this again, which is where I get back into the uh, um, trying to figure out what to do, where I'll just make these lines, and this is where I'm actually attempting to actually make something, and it loosens me up for that. So if I feel really tight, like I kind of do right now, I'm tight, I'm stressed, I've got a lot going on, so I what I'll end up doing, and oh yeah, see, look at this, see, and I'm abandoning the idea that I just had because I have this other idea, you know, something kind of peaceful actually. And I think I'm gonna draw. I like this. I still don't have any real idea what I'm doing, but I know kind of what direction I'm going in. So yeah, I mean it's like that. It's all I don't get writer's block or artist block because it's just I mean I don't stress about it. It's that type of thing. And if there's some deadline or something's really crazy, I force myself to stop thinking about the deadline because it doesn't solve any problems. Sitting there going, oh my God, I got to get this done. I get this done. It's like, no, that's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse. It's only going to make it worse. And for me anyway. And, and so I actually like the challenge of being able to just force my brain into like a relaxed mode and to just, and it's and not even forcing it. It's kind of like just getting it there. And I like that. I like that challenge. It's like a limitation, you know. This is a lot like this is a lot like Raph. I must need this because I think that this is autobiographical too. And you're dealing with this type of situation, and that's one of the things I have to be careful about with doing this type of drawing. When you're drawing from your subconscious like this and picking things out from your subconscious, because that's what pareidolia is, right? Like when you're picking shapes out of clouds. When that's like going to a psychologist office and sitting through a Rorschach test, where they pick out the ink blots for you, and you sit there and tell them the first thing that comes to your mind. It's very much the same thing, and so what you have to be careful of, and what I often and where I fall into the realm of a typical illustrator in that regard is I'll say, okay, first few ideas are probably not going to be the good ideas. They might be, but they're likely not going to be. They're going to be, and sometimes they are, and I'll run with them anyway because, like in this, I only have a certain amount of time, and I don't want to hung up with trying to be too, like I'm not working on like a professional thing that's somebody directing me on, so I can do that. But it's this is just fun time, so I can just play, and I play anyway, but you know what I mean. So this is pretty much you have to kind of be careful because you don't want to whatever it is that's in your brain or you're thinking about or it's stressing you out or whatever. Like the last few days, I've been, Raph was sitting down and eating a pizza, and this little elf person is turning out to be sitting down, and I don't know what, but I feel like probably magic or animals or something. But the yeah, I like this. It's gonna be fun singing. Maybe elves like to sing. Big heads are very childlike. Big heads, you know, big heads, short little arms, little feet. I have a style guide for how I like these to look. That's the benefit of being an illustrator doing your own shit too. Is you have a style guide, so you can decide what everything looks like. Excuse me. And then I keep. That's why I keep drawings, like you see here, right? Because it helps me in the future. That's why I drew them, so that I know, okay, this looks good. I can keep that, or this doesn't look good. Don't like that so much. Like with this one, the girl, with her, I do and don't like her. I feel like I succeeded with her personality, but I am still trying to figure out how to. I mean, it would work as an illustration for this project for sure, but I feel I did actually, and I got it done just to get it done because I was, it was part of a project I was working on, but I would like to resolve her in a different way. So, and what it is, I don't know, but it works. And if it comes down to it, I can use it because it's a solid illustration, and it says what it needs to say. And if I draw her again later, which I will, I'll just do a better job, or I'll do best to do a better job. And so I'm not beating myself up for it. I just know that there are things I would like to change, and that's okay, right? Like that's okay. I don't stress that stuff, because it's like I know I'm going to do a better job, and I'm going to have an opportunity to, and I know that when I worked on her, I did the best I could. So it's not like I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I suck. I'm terrible." Blah blah. It's like, no, I did the best I could. I gave it best, and it's not a bad drawing at all by any stretch of imagination. So no, I'm happy with it. So what I'm gonna do, and I like this. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be. This is kind of how I see the elves anyway. Kind of fun-loving, annoying to humans, really annoying to humans. They're only like 1.5 to 2 feet tall. They're small, you know, which is another reason why they're not typical player characters because, and why I recommend that people who either really want to play them or are more experienced gamers play them because they do require a bit more role play. So people who are comfortable with role play are good for playing elves because that's a lot of what they are. I mean, they do interact and they are good for like fighting and stuff, but I'm not a hit it kill it type of DM at all. I am a storyteller's DM. Like I do use a lot of narrative stuff. So when you play games with me, you get a pretty rich experience. And I'll run the Borderlands again. I ran it a few years ago with my ex-wife and a small group of friends that I had at the time, and that's fun. That was really cool. We were doing. It was before I'd figured out a whole bunch of this stuff, and I was still kind of running through it and figuring it out. And we ran the Search of the Unknown, which was fun. Oh my god, that was so fun. It was so fun. It was so much fun. I just retrofitted it to fit the world that I created, so that it made sense for why it was there, and I made it part of the lore of the world, and um, it was fun. It was a good time. Those were good guys. Yeah. And I have nothing to say bad to say about my ex-wife either. Like she's fun to play with too. Like we're not like, enemies or anything like that. That was all. That whole experience was pretty fun. Let's see. So I'm drawing a halfling. I like my brain goes to halfling. I've played D&D a lot, like classic D&D a lot. So my brain is automatically going to halfling. I need to focus. So give me a second here. I need to figure out what I'm doing too, because I kind of know. I feel it in my. I feel it. It's like I can feel it. I can see it. I can feel it in my brain. So I see the scene unfolding. I just have to figure out what it is. And like I see animals, here. There's some sort of situation, probably butterfly. I like the idea of butterflies a lot. You know, it's a little ideal scene. And like right now, like of course, that's my um, like that's how I feel. I wanna relax. So this drawing is gonna be nice and relaxed. Make them smaller. Okay. So what do I want to do here? little childlike person. One thing that I do, I like that with the hand pointing out, with the thumb, with the finger. Yeah. They're children of the goddess of magic and nature. So the things that they represent are really just the natural world. They're kind of chaotic, but also they're, you know, concerned with the way the world, like elves are, you know, concerned with the natural order of things, but also pretty irresponsible, right? Like they don't have, you know, they don't think about um, like property is kind of an issue with them, really. So they end up being thieves a lot of the time, at least in game terms, right? Like they may not be thief, but you know, they're thieves, really. Natural thieves. And with little pesky magic abilities there, you know, pretty good at. In addition to being quick and okay, and I'm still not. I'm still just going around trying to figure out what I'm doing with this. So let's see. Let's sit on a rock. Now, small person. So I've got to show things that make this person look small, like big mushrooms, right? Things that make this automatically make you go, "Oh shit, this is a tiny person," you know. So I'm probably going to put some mushrooms here, something here to show scale, and butterflies is a good one. Butterfly is a good one because it would be big, right? Butterfly, it would be big. So probably would be like you know something like that, more accurately. Excuse me. Bird would be big. Oh, I like the idea of a bird. Or like mouse. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, a mouse would still be small. Like it would still be like, you know, a mouse even would be like, you know, still be small. I like that. I like having a mouse here. And maybe something here. I don't want to get crazy. I gotta remind myself not to get carried away because these are short. So maybe this elf is barefoot. It's kind of hanging out in the woods. I'm drinking blueberry coffee. It's amazing the way. Um, New England coffee makes it, so you can get it in other brands. It's good. It's really good. It's my favorite blueberry coffee. I really like the infused coffees, not shots. I don't like a lot of sugar in my coffee. I pretty much just drink black coffee with a little bit of almond milk or milk, depending on what's available. Almond milk, I prefer, or black. I'll drink it black. I don't care if that's all that's available. I want to make this kind of mushroom. I don't want the round. I want the kind of yeah, cool top. Yeah, might be too small. That's a big ass mushroom. That needs to be a little smaller. So what I think I'm gonna do is take this. They're like 2 feet tall. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with 2 feet because that's the like a 12 and a half, 2 feet is the average. So yeah, there you go. That's still pretty big. That says a tiny person. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yep. And then this rock is sitting on the ground here. These mushrooms or whatever they are will be coming behind this just to kind of give a further, you know, just depth, you know, tell a story. I have it kind of taped this way so the eye's drawn up. I'm gonna make sure that, like, see, I'm creating a rhythm here. I'm gonna leave this open, this space, and have this kind of swoop bring the eye around the image, help to anyway. And this side is higher than this side because it's balanced that way. And with all the weight of the character on this side needs to lower so that it's heavier, you know. And things I'm not talking about, but thinking about kind of um, intuitively at this point. Um, Composition. So I generally divide my compositions into third. I think of them that way. So center focus, right? Like, and you have the hands kind of in these areas, and then the body is off center. So it's not like sitting right in the middle, because that would be boring, but it would also well, yeah, mostly be boring. And so this creates visual interest by creating some variety and some variation so that you're not too symmetrical. Symmetrical is good. It can be good if you're using it for the right reason. So, or using it with intention, I should say, and planning it. So, that's, you know, like if you notice when you see me drawing these and you see me doing that automatic drawing until I figure out what I want to do, and then I start picking lines out. I'm not keeping all of the lines, right? I'm keeping only the lines I want to use. So I'm being selective, and I'm intentionally choosing the lines that I feel are the best. I use my feelings a lot for that, but that's also working with what I know, which is always improving. So my feelings are informed by what I'm constantly learning to help create. That's why it's always important to, like, keep learning and keep memorizing things and storing stuff away, because your subconscious is always going to drag it out, right? Like, it's whether you remember it or not. If you just kind of allow yourself to just feel it and let go, it'll come out, right? It'll just come out in your drawings, and you still need reference and things like that, but you'll be amazed at how much you know without even realizing it. Honestly, I think people take for granted how smart they really are. They're so worried about trying to control everything and how much they know or don't know, that they don't realize that they're smarter than they think they are. Not many people trust themselves. I think that's a big thing. Making art is a lot of trust in yourself and the process. Okay, so I have this so far, and mouse. This is gonna be kind of easy and simple. I'm not gonna, like, go crazy with this thing. So what do I do with hair? I have this person in a tunic, this little elf guy. Uh, have it come down like that with hems, right? And I'm just making notes. I'm not, doing anything crazy here. Has trousers on, which, if they were traveling around in the woods, might look more like this with boots, right? Like, they might wear boots, like wrapped boots, or like this guy, a pair of boots, depending, on what the deal is, boots. So it kind of depends. I feel like there should be magic happening here. This person's entertaining himself, like, with the magic. I kind of like the idea too of having, like, something over here to kind of create an extra, and something, this I want, like, a carving on. I kind of like the idea of there be some sort of carving, or runes or something. I don't know. I might go look at some traditional Irish stone carvings to see some sort of, face or something. I like that. Um, and then I need something there that's going to block out this space. Or I could do that, or I could have another mushroom here. I kind of like that. Small one. Yeah, they're like that. Grass comes behind. I just need to make the note. I don't need to like define everything crazy. I might put another mushroom back there. We'll like behind that. Yeah, yeah. This needs a little more variation. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's a little more interesting. Might actually need to be a little smaller, even than that. Yeah. And things are gonna change too as I go. So remember, that's how these things go. I'm not trying to set things in stone here. I'm just kind of making notes and figuring things out. Even the rocks, I tend to kind of just leave till the end, because I like to be very fluid with those. And I don't know what this is going to be, what magic that's going to be. I want it to be something really simple, because elves in the end are simple. They're not. That's the thing. They're very childlike, so they don't even though they may have an ornery sense of humor, or they may um, be very, like that's the thing. Like that's what makes them so ornery is they're not thinking of the consequences. They're just thinking about having fun. So they don't understand it when people don't have a sense of humor, or they do, and it just makes them want to be even worse. So it's one of those things where it's like if you yell at one, they would either collapse into I don't want to say self-loathing, but in like being hurt. They'll either be hurt or they'll be vengeful. So they're like children. So you kind of have to take your life into your own hands when you piss an elf off, or you hurt an elf, because it'll could come back to bite you, or you might find some shit missing, or you might end up with blue hair for a month or something. I don't know, or green teeth or something, something crazy like that, or grass growing out of your ears instead of hair. You know, don't really mean harm, although they can be deadly, for sure. To the right, obviously evil creatures and things like that, and you know, they can be dangerous. They obviously have their own weapons. They are not warlike by nature, and the elves that are shown with weapons and armor are typically not. Um, they're not typical elves, right? Like the elves are they tend to try and divert attackers, and they do have arrows and stuff, but they're not like heavily armored or anything like that. They tend to just kind of, you know. So they're not like humans at all. Like there's in the you know it's very evident when you're around them. They're not like humans, and that's the point, is to show the contrast between elves and humans. I want them to be very very different. With the dwarf people, I want them very different. They're very kind of classic fairy tale types of creatures. They are not. They don't think like people. They don't have the same values, and that makes for a character that's very different to play. Which I think most people would have. They play characters like that, but you know, at some point. some of my OSR friends, my gamer friends that play in the old school games that I play in, would not like me using the word whimsy. They hate that word. I know a few people in particular who would be like, "Oh my god!" But that's my. I love it. I love it. I love silly shit. I really do. You know, not like chibi anime silly, although I do like some of that stuff too. But more like I don't know. I guess kids stuff. I guess I don't know. It's definitely like a certain aesthetic for sure. Because I also have the taste for the understated, which means that I don't like it when things are too crazy. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm probably gonna give it like some sort of crown of flowers or something. You know? Thin little kid neck, you know. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. Kind of like the idea of a ladybug being there. Would a ladybug not be that big? Tiny. Yeah, the ladybug needs to be there if there's a different illustration. It would need to be a smaller character. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, so now let's get in there. Get my inking brush. There needs to be something over here. Some other thing. Another butterfly, maybe. I did like the idea of. I did like the idea. Something needs to be over here. Uh, and I don't want it to be another one of these. Hmm. Hmm. What are we gonna do? I kind of like the idea of an animal being there. I just had an idea. See if this works. You know, my favorite thing about deer is it's their cheekbones. I love deer's cheekbone, a deer's cheekbones. I mean, really, they're really delicate and beautiful. You know, they're very kind of like this idea of a deer kind of sticking its head, butting its head in this whole situation. You know, that might be too much, though. I think that's too much. I like that though. If I were doing a bigger illustration, I'd want the maybe the oh, that's a good idea. Hang on, that actually is a good idea. Let me. Oh, that's a great idea. Let me get rid of. That's really kind of sweet, actually. Hang on. Okay, let's. I like that. I like this. Yeah, I'm feeling like this is a little shorter, so I'm gonna hang on a second. I like this. Yeah, I like this. They have big noses. Have his hand kind of coming up. Yeah, I like that. You know, only under. Oops. Oh shit. There we go. You know, I mean, it's innocence. You know, these creatures, elves, they're innocence. You know, personified in a way. So it's really they kind of embody that quality, which is really annoying to humans because we're jaded, right? A lot of times, you know, our worlds tend to be dark, you know, in comparison, and I like that. That's why I like whimsy so much because it's not dark, man. There's a time and place for it, I think, in literature, but one of the things that I don't like about modern movies and modern TV shows is the this weird obsession with like really dark, gritty shit. Like it's like why? You know, I get it if it's part of the narrative, but it's so one note. Like movies are all gritty, like all gritty. It's not like an aspect of the movie. It's the whole movie, and it's not just like an artistic decision either. It's just like a. It's almost like an arbitrary one. It's like people who don't understand rhythm in a story, you know, because there are definitely people who use that effectively, but I feel like there's a time and a place for it, and a lot of times people miss the boat, right? Same thing with whimsy; it can be too much, right? There's like a balance for sure that you need to strike, you know. I don't want it to look like this thing's eating the guy's arm, so I have to be careful here. And I'm gonna reference a deer. I'm just getting a. Yeah, I love deer. Next to. They always look so what's the word I'm looking for? Inviting, like a dog, like a scruff on a dog. Okay, I might not be drawing that correctly. I feel like I'm not, but not looking for accuracy at the moment. Just thing in shapes. I could also have his arm coming around and down like he's. Oh yeah, he could have his arm coming like he's resting it on the thing's head and hands like resting on the nose. That would be funny. I like that actually. That seems a little more appropriate here. Only we'll dial this arm in a little bit so we see the creature's nose. His thumb's coming off like this, like he's just, you know. Okay. And then I'll look at deer legs and stuff, figure that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing inked. All right. So his eyes are going to be kind of closed. Their noses, they're really like little kids, so their noses, their proportions are very similar. Um, very childlike. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, but this is me personally. Like when I release the Borderlands setting, I mean, people can do what they want, right? I mean, I'm making it system neutral. Even though the elves that I'm describing are little, you don't, like, that's the whole point of having system neutral material. You don't have to make them little. They can be big. They can be like typical elves, right? That's the beauty of being creative, and that's the what I'm designing this for. It really just let people give people room for their creativity to kind of really shine. Like them showing people what I did, and then kind of what the way the world is. Because it is still like a specific place, but also it's like, man, do your own thing, right? That's what I loved about the old D&D stuff is the old modules, like the um, old Beckme stuff. Is it was all like, yeah, this is the setting. There was no real crazy. There was some world stuff, but a lot of it was like suggestive, right? They didn't even place the treasure in some of those. They said this is the treasure that's in the adventure. These are the rooms. As a DM, you can create your own story about why this is here. Like, this is nothing new. I mean, it's like this is old shit. It's like this is come up with a reason for why it's there. Flex your creative muscles, and make your own story. Place it where you want. What fits, mechanically, you know, all that stuff. If you want to keep, a certain level of treasure in the dungeon, you don't want it to be crazy. You can limit how much it is, which I tend to do. I tend to be kind of treasure light, very descriptive about my treasure. Like it's very specific treasure often. Okay, I like this. All right, so we have that. This guy's totally just having a good time, enjoying his day. Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't care if people don't like how I play, right? It's like, man, go. It's the beauty. Go do your own thing. You don't have to like it. No one says you have to like anything. You don't have to like certain people. You don't have to like certain things. You can be nice to people, but everybody has their own taste. There's a reason we're all different, man. Step into that. Don't judge people. Step into why you're different, and just go do it. You know, be different your way, and don't fuck with other people about why they're different. It doesn't matter, or how they're different. It's the fact that they're different at all is amazing. that's the best thing about living. Is all the crazy variety. Get his elbow in there. Okay. This is gonna be good. Yeah. Give him a little bracelet or some kind of. I like the idea of him having like some. He has flowers, but what else he got? Yeah, my worlds tend to be very that I create for D&D tend to be very human centric. Like humans are the dominant race, you know. Everything else is just kind of special. And and I do that for a reason, so that when people encounter the special things, the different things, they are not just like, oh look, a 1/1 sword or a +1 sword. They're like, oh shit, that's like a serious thing, right? Even if it's not crazy, because they know I don't just like give that shit out, and they keep lesser magical items for that reason. Hmm. They tend to have big eyes too. Like that's they're like kids. This is where the sketch get kind of a pain in the ass. It gets in the way of the drawing. Okay. And I've always felt this way about fantasy. It isn't like anything new or anything. I always feel like I enjoy the fantasy that's really kind of understated and low magic, but whimsical. You know, which is weird because I'm not a Harry Potter fan, right? Like I don't like Harry Potter. I don't say I don't like it because I do like aspects of this of the world and stories, but it never struck me. Maybe because I didn't grow up with it. My ex-wife really loved it, and I know people like certain people really like it and love it, and a lot of people that grew up with it. But even as an adult, I read and I read the first one, and I was not smitten. I thought the movies were okay, so I am not a Harry Potter person. Tolkien is more speed. I did really like Fantastic Beasts, though. I loved that. I thought that was cool. Probably because I could identify with the main character. He wasn't like a little kid. Although I do enjoy some things that have to do with kids, like that are fun and like that kind of, like the kids are the main characters. I read the first book, did not read the rest. Um, I did that for my ex-wife though, like just so I could connect with her on what it is she enjoyed. But I did not particularly enjoy it. I, and I'm sorry to say that. Like, well, no, because that's my taste. I'm not sorry to say that's not what I like. So, I'm not going to apologize for my taste. There's nothing wrong with that. That said, I do respect the creative effort, right? Like, I do respect it as a creative effort, and I do respect um, the fans and everything. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to hate on it. I will tell you why I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell you it's stupid. Right. It's fair or nice. Different strokes, man. Because even as much as I like this like whimsical stuff, I like the more adult fantasy, right? It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Again, like Tolkien is like a perfect example. Even this is kind of like that. All right, right. So I don't think I'm gonna give this guy anything on that hand. I think it's gonna keep it free, but that arm is way too big and long. And what should be happening here is there should be, yeah, it should be more like this. And there, yeah. Oop, there we go. That's still kind of bordering on being too big. We'll get his legs and maybe that'll kind of help, you know, alleviate some of that. Because it's all about perspective, so. And this is going to be in shadow. And with this guy, we're just going to do my typical inking technique instead of trying to do anything strange. or stretch boundaries here. Which is what I did with the last few illustrations. Ankle bone. Little toes. The little guy. I like the idea of him having a pouch here. I like pouches. I like drawing pouches. I think it's a throwback to when I was a kid. I loved. Um, it's just my influence, actually speaking here. Um, Artists like Earl Sweet and Larry Elmore and Keith Parkinson's is just old school stuff going on right here. Those are the guys I looked at a lot as a kid. Okay, and then a belt's going to come off this way. So, and then we're going to have this light sources. And from up here, right? But kind of arbitrary. I think that's important actually with ink illustration. I think that you have to be willing to take risks and make decisions aren't realistic for the sake of composition, because you're going to want to put dark areas where there wouldn't be dark areas, and you're going to want to have light areas where there wouldn't be light areas, just because it works. Not because it totally makes sense. And it will make sense in the end. All right. You know what? You, my little friend. Are moving. I'm going to want to do something fun with that tail, and I'm not sure what yet. Now, mice and rats are very different. Mice are, they tend to have bigger heads, they have big ears, little bodies, long tails. I think I know enough about ancient Irish sculpture to get this right. I've looked at a lot of those things. I want it to be a little more ambiguous than that. I think it's also old, right? It's not going to be. It's maybe totally ridiculous. I don't know. I kind of like the beard, but no mustache. I kind of dig that. There is a very specific appearance to um, uh, that sculpture. So I'm actually gonna. I kind of like what I'm doing, but I want to do something. I'm close, I know. Yeah, 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 close. So like I'm gonna do this. I want it. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do is. Yep. You see now it's starting to look a little more authentic. Okay. So I kind of like the beard. I also want it to be kind of fun. I don't want it to be, I mean, I don't want it to be like super, realistic either. Like what even is it? That kind of thing. Like, looks very sculptural. All right, so then, like he could even just not have a mouth. And elves don't have beards either. Like that's the other thing. Oh, I wanted, and it would be creative. I like this. I'm looking at this. Really cool. Hang on. I like this. Like instead of it has there's the rim around the eyes, like a Celtic knot, right? You'd see the depression or the indentation here. But then I really liked this kind of carving around the eyes that had this decorative kind of not like quality. I like that. And then I'm going to get rid of this beard actually. And what I'm going to do is that and that instead. Just make these lines really interesting lines. And I like what's happening here in the sketch with this line a lot. So I'm going to keep that as much as possible. Yeah, there you go. See, that looks much more like what I was expecting. Okay, and then yeah, and there, you wouldn't see as much of it on this side because that's where the light's blowing it out. Right? Okay, and then let's get that. Wait. Now the grass, because this little dude is so small, right? It's gonna look bigger. So we gotta compensate for that too. And I'm gonna use shorthand. I'm not gonna like sit here and try and sketch out every single blade, but I'm gonna just suggest. Okay. And yeah, okay. And then this side is gonna have we're gonna have this because the light hitting him this way, but because this is like we're gonna get light like this, right? Like it's gonna his legs coming. Actually, the light's gonna this leg is gonna come like back this way. Like everything's gonna fall back. Like these legs are all gonna fall back in this space. And I think what we're gonna end up having to do is this. You know what? No. I want to do something a little more. A little more. I like this. I have definitely developed a language for myself. And I like it. So I'm going to lean on that. And I also like I want this to be the darkest. then to come down. I mean, it could be like that too. That's more like it right there. That's more it. I'm surprised I don't sell more work overseas, to be quite honest, because I have a very European aesthetic when it comes to games. Oh, it's the pouch. I keep forgetting about that. It's the pouch. I guess even modern games, like I definitely have a very distinct style, but it's not modern. It's retro modern or retro, I guess. But it does still surprise me. Get all the sketch together, and then I'm gonna add some deets here, just kind of. Oh no, I done the sketch. Son of a bitch. Okay, I hate it when I do that. And I do curse here, so if you don't like it, I'm not gonna stop. I swear like a sailor. I talk like a sailor. It's pretty all, depending on who you what your aesthetics are. No, 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 no. That's not my language. There we go. Hang on. I know how grass is supposed to look. That's not it. Totally not digging it. Okay, hang on. Gotta change it up, son. There we go. That's better. Okay. We're gonna crack this up a little bit. I'm drawing on the sketch layer again, dude. That's all right. I need to start moving anyway. I need to start actually making marks and moving ahead. And I'm being too precious with this. And I really need to get going. Okay, so let's get this moving, man. That's part of the reason why it's not working, the lines, because I'm not making the right decisions. I'm not making committed decisions. I'm kind of just fucking around. I'm having a hum, not committing. Okay, so gotta get into that mindset that I don't care if I ruin this or not because it doesn't matter. It's just a drawing. That's ultimately my mindset about everything. It's like you know, I do my best, but I always tell myself it's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. You're gonna make more. It's not the last one, you know. And if it is, just give it your best. I said that earlier. It's like all you can do, man. You know, really. I refuse to get bent out of shape about this stuff. I'll tear up a drawing even if I don't like it. Like if I don't like it and I'm finding that I'm clinging to the old drawing, I will throw it away because it will keep me from making a fresh beginning. Or I'll rip it up, or I'll put it in a box or something. I don't keep a lot of stuff. I tend to be a minimalist, so I tend to throw things away. So if I keep something, it's either because I really like it or I hate it. Like I only have a handful of books on hand. I don't keep a lot of books. You know, I could probably fit everything I own to like a 20-foot U-Haul. Everything in my life, like every single thing that I own personally. COVID pretty much and a bad business deal pretty much destroyed my life and I lost everything. So I became a pretty minimalistic person. I was kind of that way anyway, but let's see. You know what? I'm going against what I decided. I was going to make this just a empty space, which is bad. I do that all the time. Go against what I decide, but I do want that to be the case here. For it to be a certain way. Okay. And then let's get this deer. Let's get this moon man. Let's go. All right, so deer. Get my coffee. Oh, that's nice. I'm probably gonna nix the legs because deer don't move like that generally. When they kneel, they tend to kneel on their front legs, like the knees of their front legs. Okay, so it's a big mouse. Probably would be a rat. I can shrink it down too, make it smaller. So let's get deer head and this butterfly. That needs to be a little different. No. brighten up your computer. I might have to go turn a light on just so it's getting really dark in here. Only problem is that when I do that, when I do that, when I turn the light on, it like the light's like right here. I gotta find a way to. Maybe I can move this so you guys don't see it, and it's not gonna be some glaring. You probably won't with the computer kind of angled. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's good. Even if I turn it this way. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, cool. Where's my stuff? Oh yeah, okay. So let's take a look. All right. I like that. Okay, so deer head. I'm actually gonna back this up even more. Oh, nice. That's a good one. Okay, and we're gonna do that. And it's gonna be a smaller head though. I made the head too big, so we're gonna. Deer also have these very. What's the word I'm looking for? They have these very delicate eyes. They're very delicate, very sweet eyes, and I really wanna. I think. Let's see. Oh, maybe some male deer, big one. Okay, and then yeah, that other antler's gonna be way up here, and yeah, see I love their mouth. That really delicate. Um, I love deer so much. They're really cool animals. Of course, this is then of course they have that really cool. That's the area below their eye, that bone, and this. Is that too small? Because he's like a foot. Oh yeah, because that's like the deer's head. It'd be about a little bigger than the deer's head, so that's about right. And I'm gonna do the lip there. And this I may not keep this. Let's see. Of course, I almost feel like there need to be more animals. Almost. almost said aminals. I almost said aminals. And they've got those big nostrils. If you ever seen a deer, they have these gigantic nostrils. Okay. And okay, so we're gonna have the ear. I'm also gonna do the ear. I need another picture. Come on now. Where's a deer with horns or horns, antlers? Come on now. Uh, want to do that? Um, I do want to add something else. Like I want to add some other critter, and I don't know what. That, and I actually want to kind of. Yeah, see, I gotta loosen up too. That's the other thing. I've got to keep in mind my goal here, and you know, the ink is interesting. Um, you really, I mean, it really lends itself to spontaneity. I think, um, personally, I think you to really get an effective ink piece, um, you need to learn to be deliberate and committed. So like make the lines. You really need to feel what you're drawing, I think. It's not something I feel like you need to get in you really need to get in the zone. I mean, I feel like that with anything, any creative anything, but with ink it's such a it can be so hard to control. I think that the answer is to stop controlling it. You know what I mean? I honestly think that's the answer. It's a lesson in letting go every single time I do one of these. Okay. Right. I kind of like this. I don't know if this is right. It's the thing. I don't know if ear would do that, but I really feel like the ear needs to be there. Okay. And then it's one of those things I'll apologize for later if it's wrong. Yeah, that's cool. Check him out. And then let's see, what are we gonna do with this butterfly? Type in butterfly. Butterfly. Monarch. Sure. I might have a bird back here. Something. A little bird sitting on the ground. Oh yeah, like a body going like this and his head kind of going like that. I like that. That would be cool. small bird, like a finch or something. And this, yeah. I'm not gonna belabor this. I need this to be real, just spontaneous. Right. Yeah, be about it. And then new. Nope. And then there we go. Okay, and then let's get that bird. Do some more definition on this rock here. Some little effects. I love mice. Mice are cool. I've had a bunch of small animals in my life. Hamsters, mice, rats, um, gerbils, guinea pigs, rabbits. Studied animals a lot. I used to work at a pet store, in fact, when I was in college. That's how I worked through art school. That's how I supported myself. It's a fun job. All right, let's get the bird. Finch. Finch. No, no, not a finch. Yes. Where are you located? Where do you live, bird? Where do you live? Okay. Well, I know where you live. I'm looking for English birds native to the Isles. All right. So what I'm going to do is bounce into this, and I'm going to erase legs of this of our guy here, and I'm going to start a sketch for the feel like I've been fighting myself about this particular decision for a little bit here. I feel like I don't need to put anything there. Like it's enough that like that would be okay. Yeah, maybe. Oh, and I fucked it up. You can also show depth by just making a thicker line under, which I'm going to do with the feet when I start laying things in a little later. Being a little more cleaning things up. Um, Lay a thicker line. Yeah, to ground things. Okay, and okay, let's get that bird, man. I'll put another butterfly in there. Maybe some magic coming from his hand, and that'll be done. Uh, and I'm also gonna that. All right, sketch. So, bird. So the thing I want with bird is, whoops, for this bird to be kind of turned this way, but then looking up. Just, yeah. I want it of a tight shape. I don't want anything crazy. It's going to be small. Yeah. We're going to be looking underneath of its head. And it's going to be a pretty simple little addition. So, nothing crazy. And yeah, this bird needs to be a lot smaller because he's like a foot size or 2 feet. So it definitely needs to be smaller. That mouse needs to shrink. Maybe. I'm torn on that. Yeah. Oh, the beauties of digital art. Seriously. All right. Yeah. So let's get this guy. It's gonna be like a nut cracking bird, so like a seabird, right? Thinking a bluebird. Oh, you know what? I need this to be a little more expressive. It's not expressive enough. It's just a bird sitting there. I need this to be. I want plump, fat ass little bird with enough of a place to be expressive with the fur, with the feathers. Okay, so I'm going to make him kind of fat. Big old fat body. Little tiny face. And a big old gut. And we'll have... I like birds. Bluebirds are my favorite bird. One of them, kingfisher, is actually my favorite small bird. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Cool. Let's get in there. Fat little dude. No. He'd be about the size of an mouse. Not that big even. Like this thing needs to be smaller. Yeah, it needs to be about the size of the mouse. There we go. Okay. Oh shit. Little tiny beak. Right? Little tiny head. There they are. There's one. Okay. I love these little guys. All right. Yeah, the elves can do all about the natural world and what goes on there. You know, they know all little critters. They can speak to the forest creatures. Like all elves, pretty much. That's too fat. Or at least wrong perspective. There we go. There we go. There we go. His little chin would press up against his body. Little body. Little bird body. Okay. See how that looks. That's pretty good. All right. We'll create some light under his belly. Or her, I guess. Could be a girl. I'm going to put in some of those feathers. Create some distance between it and the mushroom. Nope, still too much. It needs to be as simple as the mouse. And then, or simpler even. Okay, yeah, that's a delicate balance. And that's the thing with illustration. You can't, or painting in general, art in general. Don't push yourself to like get it done. Like don't sit there and go, gotta get it done, I gotta get it. It's like just get it done, right? Like I'm just sitting here going, okay, I've got to change it, I got to change it. But it's just fun working it. I explained this before. If you can just abandon yourself to the idea that you need to get it done, that it needs to get done, you'll enjoy the whole process a lot more. No, okay, I need to leave it there. That's like it. I think that was even like almost too much. This needs to totally. Yeah, it need to be more like single lines. Yeah, okay. I keep wanting to do a bunch of shit with the thing, and it's not a good idea. Part of it is because I'm not defining it right. There we go. Or correctly, I guess. Oh, and I haven't checked the. Okay, okay. We're almost done. Like this is like perfect timing. I really these things get done like in perfect time every single time. I give myself. I think I figured it out like how to give myself just enough to do at this point. Okay, I need to go in and fix this. Grass needs to happen like with intent, but spontaneity as well, or just it just looks like S. It seriously does. It looks terrible, and it's something that you kind of really just you can't focus on too much. I mean, at least in my opinion, with the way that I like to do it, if focus on it too much because it's a secondary element unless it's the actual focus. If I focus on it too much, it becomes a main character, and the grass often not. It's a fun. It needs to be like the lines need to be beautiful and intentional and look good, but so that people look at them, they go, "Ooh, that's nice," you know. But at the same time, you don't want people looking at it going, "That's all I'm staring at," you know. I feel like I knew. Shit. No. Okay, so now I'm gonna touch it up just a skosh here. And because I've done everything I need to at this point, kind of want some sort of magic, maybe? But in a way, I don't because one of the reasons why all the same rules that I apply to storytelling in D&D, I apply to here. Um, Less more, understatement, and absent makes presence more um, meaningful. So if you're saturating whatever image you're making uh, with something, you got to ask yourself: is this necessary? You know what I mean? Like, why do I need to include so much of any one thing if it's not important for one? Two, does it help tell a story? Three, it just if I add this, is it gonna is it gonna add to the story or is it gonna subtract from the story? So, and let me get this. I need to find the right angle on this guy. There we go. That's what I was looking at. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Um, so I don't want to create a bunch of magic because it's going to lose its power. Like if you saturate, that's why I don't like playing in a lot of modern games because unless the story is really good and the DM is really good, I get bored really fast, really fast. So I like magic to be something that is special and rare and kind of whimsical and fun. Or big and catastrophic, right? Like that's all. That's what it's all about. It's about contrast. Everything. It's about contrast. You only miss people when they're at home, right? So you make people want the magic. It's the way you tell a story, a good story. You make people want the magic. You don't give it to them right away, and then you deliver it for the payoff, right? Like seeing Jaws. You didn't see the shark at the beginning of the movie. Of course, that it cracks me up. It was great storytelling, but it cracked me up because that wasn't intentional. They couldn't show the shark because their technology sucked, and the shark that they made for the to interact with kept breaking in the water. So they didn't. You know what I mean? It's like it's partially a happy accident, which I always find really hilarious. Okay, and then I think that's it. Like that says enough, right? Oh, you know what? We need one other thing. Um, what do we need? I need a musical instrument. I need some kind of musical instrument, something that would, or some object. I don't need to do anything there. It's just going to take away. So okay, it's all about what I'm not including, right? Remember, absence is yeah. Okay. Um, so I want something there. What? I feel like it needs to be shaped like this somehow, or like this or something. Like it's the shape feeling I'm getting. So shit. Hmm? Could also just be a cup, something mundane. That's why I think the contrast of mundane with extraordinary, or having the extraordinary within the mundane, or even the mundane being the extraordinary, is again, it's the contrast, right? Mundane makes the extraordinary extraordinary, otherwise it's not extraordinary. So, and it's like the extraordinary makes the mundane mundane. So if there's too much extraordinary, it's not extraordinary, right? It's just ordinary. It's the huge. So that's why I'm surrounding this guy with all kinds of like regular things. And he's not like doing backflips and somersaults and crazy stuff and showing how cool he is. He's just kind of hanging out, doing the thing that he'd be doing if he were just hanging out, talking to the animals. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna do. Oh, I feel like it needs to be like a little tiny harp or something that's here, and maybe it kind of goes. Except it would be the other way. It would come up here, and then it would. I kind of like the idea of pipes better, though. That's not the right shape, so it's pipes. Something needs to be there, man. What is it? Something. What are you trying to tell me, friend? What is it that you want to be playing? Well, for one, your hand needs to be a little smaller. Uh, uh, well, we have these Karamoodzes. I think that's how you pronounce it. Zornas. I'm looking at Greek instruments because the uh, elves in the world of the Borderlands are kind of Greek Celtic. So I can, and plus it's fantasy, so who the fuck cares, right? Really, I mean, but I mean but I like to have that historical basis. So I'm thinking maybe even just panpipes would be fun. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so yeah, like they can just be sitting right there, or even like that, or could also be food. Hang on. He have the pipes in his hand as well. I give him it to give them to him in his hands. And then put something else here. But I think could also be another animal. like a snake or something. That kind of come in and check him out too. Like it's all kinds of crazy animals. It's not just that would be that would be kind of crazy. Even like an animal putting its hands up here and just kind of hanging out, putting its little pawsy down there. Like kind of checking out, whatever that this is. A porcupine. Hey, got it. Are there? Hang on. Or like something like that. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, yeah, it's totally a porcupine, right? So, or skunk or something. But I really like the idea of it. Or like a hedgehog. Although I'm really digging this porcupine deal. So, because it's like its spines, its head that's very space shaped. They're very distinct, right? Like these it can go, but his arm just kind of, you know, got the big incisors. I think they stick out. I'll have to look. Eyeballs, ears. Because he's turning his head to look too. So you have that. I kind of like the idea, actually, that it's coming from the opposite direction and giving some movement that way. Like it's going, like its spines are like its head is turned this way, and its spines are back this way. Nose, ears, hands. We'll have to overlap the. Oh no, we won't. It'll be behind that. Ears, right, and then the crazy spiky shit on its head. Some critter. I like that angle a lot better. Whatever we put here, porcupine or not. Oh no. Okay, I know. Porcupine would be a lot of fun, but I know what I want here. I know what I want here. Yeah, I know what I want here, man. I was just talking about this stuff today. It's so funny that I end up drawing what I end up talking about, whatever it is, like that day. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so it could also be a rabbit. A rabbit would be a lot of fun. Okay, we're gonna snag this, and I'm gonna. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Look at those feet, dude. I love animals. All right. Look at the feet. Oh, he's so cool. Okay. Look at this. Oh, dude, you're totally awesome. All right, I'm gonna flip around, son. Okay. Okay. So not a porcupine. Get rid of that. And instead, well, I'm gonna fix that. Okay. Instead, okay, my computer wants to, I hate that shit. Okay, so okay, so we're gonna go like this, and then oh, we'll have the other paw kind of like he'll be his paws will be pressed up against the head too, so it'll be doing that kind of thing. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay. Big spade-shaped head. Cool. Neck. Scruff. Yeah. Porcupine seems like a good idea too. It's a hard decision. This is a bigger animal though, so it's gonna overlap. I'm actually gonna cut it out here and have it stop before it actually touches the mouse, but his paws are gonna be. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. So look at a big nose. All right. There you go. Yep. Yep. Okay, and then God, man, English badgers look so innocent. I mean, they still have kind of a shitty attitude, but they're so sweet looking. Like they don't look like the crazy ass insane American badgers that will chew your face off. Look like they'll chew your face off just for looking at them. So I hope I'm getting this right. I gotta make sure I make him not look evil. You know, just play with that. Not get too close to that mouse. Don't want to touch the mouse. They have those big claws, man, for digging. Right? It needs to be simplified even more. Yeah, I don't want to. There we go. And they have that dark underbelly, so I'm gonna. Now he can help define the elf's um, arm there, or leg, sorry. Might be too much. I need to be careful here. One of those situations where I have to be really selective and delicate about what I do. Because that guy needs to read right away. Mm. It's the only area really solid black in the whole thing too, so I need to be careful. Not that that's a bad thing, but I gotta be careful, isn't it? Looking like a raccoon. Might be too much. Yeah, it's too much. I need to. Oop, might be it. I'm starting to lose perspective too. I've been at it for a while. I don't want to take too long. It's supposed to be short and sweet, so that's. But I was having a lot of fun. It needs to be an animal that's not gonna take up so much space. So could also just do that and just let that speak for itself. I mean, because you focus right on him. This gap is a nice rest between this busyness. So I could do something like this and just have like a plant back there. That is good. That's good. Yeah, because then that uses that space, suggests other things, and yeah, do that. No. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. All right. Yeah. That's it. All right. So let me. We go. Awesome. That was fun, man. I love that. That was totally rad. All right. Cool. Yeah. So that's the elf. I had fun describing them and just fun drawing this little dude. And yeah, I look forward to doing another one. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I forget what that is, but badger, one of my favorite animals, and that was if I'd planned it in the beginning, maybe, or if there was enough space, but it's no. Trying to get away with something I probably can't or shouldn't. I really want to use that space. It's killing me. It's killing me. Something is begging to be there, and I just, what do you want? What is it that you want? It's gonna drive me nuts, man. It's all being sparing too. That's the thing about ink. It's about being sparing and knowing where to put the, kind of feeling in it. But yeah, that needs a little bit of shadow there. But okay, so okay. All right, so man, killing me, Smalls, killing me. I feel like a little kid who has like just got his allowance and he's like, I gotta spend it. Like right now, I gotta spend it. I gotta fill that space. But that's the thing. It's gonna get overworked if I keep fucking with it. So I'm gonna stop. I am gonna do a little bit. I feel like this is okay, that space, but I am gonna do something here. There we go. I think. Yeah, it needed that. Okay, cool. All right. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. Um, I had a really good time. This was fun for me. I love doing these things. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. So yeah, I had a fun time. Hope you guys did too. I'll be back. Maybe I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. I'll see because I've got to like keep my sanity too. So we'll see. There we go. That's what they needed. All right. So I got away from the badger and then figured out the bird. Stop fucking with it, man. Okay. Put my Herbie Hancock on this thing. Okay. And son of a. Okay. Cool beans. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. I'll be back again with another one soon, and that's the elf. So I will talk to you guys later. See ya.